morning. What is up, friends? Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you on The Bright Side. We welcome your phone calls at 855-660-4261. That's 855-660-4261. We'll be taking your calls in the second segment of this program. We've got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour, Becky Hewlem. She'll be talking about her book, her menopause book, Feeling Hot. So if you have questions, you want to get on board, do it in the second segment, 855-660-4261. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us recommend or suggest on the program, or you hear advertised on The Bright Side, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com. Take a look at our shopping cart we have up with all the longevity products, or you can call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask them about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the multivitamin mineral complex powder that you add to water and drink. It's truly my favorite longevity product. It's my favorite nutritional product. That's my favorite nutritional product, and I use a lot of nutritional supplements, but I don't want to ever go without my Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com, or you can ask the folks at 866-735-2470 about it. It's around $50 a canister. And if you're like most folks, you'll notice results within 1 or 2 doses. You can also check out my blog, pharmacistben.com. We update it regularly. I just did a post a couple of days ago. I forgot what I did it on, but anyway, we've got a whole bunch of posts up at pharmacistben.com. And that's it. So we'll be talking to Becky Hewlem in the second half of our program today, so get on board early if you've got questions, if there's anything I can help you with health, nutrition, prescription drugs, or helping you get off your prescription drugs and get on a good nutritional supplement program. 855-660-4261 is our number. Okay, last program we were talking about the distinction between micronutrition and macronutrition. This is a distinction that is not oftentimes made. Micronutrition is your vitamins and minerals and plant nutrients. These are nutrients that you need in tiny little amounts, microgram, milligram amounts. And then there's macronutrients. Those are the nutrients that you need in grams or in ounces. We've been talking a lot about micronutrition when it comes to bone building and anabolism, building tissue in general. We talked about vitamin K, we talked about vitamin A and vitamin D, we talked about phosphorus and sulfur, and we really hit these micronutrients really hard. But now I want to start talking a little bit about macronutrition. In fact, we're going to be talking for the next few weeks about the most important of all the macronutrients, and that's protein. There's 3 basic macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. In our last program, we simplified this classification. We just said there were protein and carbs. Sugar and fats are both varieties of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate means carbon, carbo, hydrogen, hydra, and oxygen, 8, carbohydrate. That means carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. That's it. Carbohydrates, fats, and sugars are made up of just these 3 elements. That's why fats and sugars are technically the same thing. Fat is like a complex version of sugar. So from a chemistry standpoint, you only have 2 macronutrients. You got carbs and you got protein. And what's the difference between carbs and protein? Nitrogen. Super nitrogen, the workhorse in the body. Carbs are about raw energy. Protein is about organized life energy. Protein is about information. Protein is about organization. Protein is about structure and about building. These are all the key elements of life. Kurt Vonnegut, in his book Cat's Cradle, asked a rhetorical question, what is the secret of life? And he answered, protein. And indeed, protein is the secret of life. Protein is the difference between raw, explosive energy and organized, structured life energy. Nitrogen, and by extension protein, means life and organization. And this makes it key for building, key for anti-aging, key for repair. If you are dealing with surgery, or you are dealing with any kind of degenerative disease, or you are dealing with cancer, God forbid, or accelerated aging, you need to be focusing on the most important of all the building blocks in the body, and that is protein. And that especially means bone, by the way, which is largely composed of protein. This relationship between carbs and protein is kind of interesting. The fact that protein is kind of like a nitrogen carbohydrate. That's the only difference between carbohydrates and protein, is that little element of nitrogen. And what this means is that protein can actually be used for energy. Carbohydrates are energy, clearly. Fats are energy. Sugar is obviously energy. But because protein is actually a type of carbohydrate, it's a nitrogen carbohydrate, you can actually use protein for energy. It means that the energy-using systems of the body, the systems of the body that use energy, well, everything uses energy, but the systems in the body that use a lot of energy, like the brain and the heart, can utilize protein for energy. This is what I call the modified ketogenic diet, where you get energy from protein rather than from fats and carbs. This allows the body to use, allowing the body to use protein for energy, use protein kind of foods for energy, allows your body to obtain energy in a much slower fashion. The body likes to get energy slowly. The body likes to do things slowly. Chemistry should be kind of slow and stable. And when you use protein for energy, not only do you get this slow, stable kind of energy formation, but you can reduce your cravings for sugar and for carbohydrates. The body can use protein for energy, perhaps not as effectively or as efficiently as it can use carbohydrates for energy, because it still has to deal with that nitrogen, but protein can, sure enough, be used as fuel for the body. This is why protein is so satiety-inducing, because the body can use it for energy, but because it obtains energy from protein much more slowly and in a much more stable fashion than carbohydrates and fats, protein is extremely satisfying, and eating protein can help you reduce your cravings for fats and sugars. But you got to eat a lot of protein. Try it. Try making sure that you get, say, 45 or 50 grams of protein every 2 or 3 hours. Just do it for an experiment today or tomorrow. Get yourself some One World Whey, which I consider to be the best supplemental protein going. Get yourself some One World Whey and do a scoop and a half or even 2 scoops of One World Whey every 2 or 3 hours. Now, you'll find that after a couple of doses, maybe after 3 doses, 2 or 3 doses, you basically don't even want any more protein, and you basically don't even want any more food. It's pretty unbelievable what'll happen. For you guys who are craving cereal or craving bread or craving pasta or craving any kind of sweets or sugar, upping your protein is the absolute best way to satisfy your body's need for energy. Protein means satisfaction, but you got to eat a lot of protein to get the satisfaction benefits. This is why the single most effective diet strategy, the single most effective weight loss strategy, and there's a bunch of good weight loss strategies, but the single most important weight loss strategy is to eat more protein. Conversely, a case could be made for the fact that our obesity epidemic, we got 35% of Americans, millions, 100 billion plus Americans are overweight or obese. You can think of our obesity epidemic as being a type of protein deficiency epidemic. So protein can help you lose weight. Lack of protein is going to make you gain weight. That means you'd be pretty darn smart to make sure that you're getting some supplemental protein in your diet. I like the One World Way. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with your phone calls on the bright side. 855-660-4261 is our number. Don't go away. We got more good health information coming back at you right after this.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. Have you ever wondered why farmers can keep their livestock lean and healthy just by feeding them minerals in a nutrient-dense diet? Before market, they cut off their minerals, leaving them to crave high-calorie grains to fatten them up. So if weight control is this easy, why does the medical system prescribe invasive surgical gastric bypass for humans? The truth be told, according to research, you can avoid over 900 different diseases just by getting 90 essential nutrients daily. Check us out on the web at sonsoflibertyteam.com and order your Healthy Start Pack and get your 90 for life. Or dial 855-301-TEAM. I said essential, not optional, and every day. Easy. 90 for life on the web at sonsoflibertyteam.com or call 855-301-TEAM. That's 855-301-TEAM. That's 855-301-TEAM. Check us out on the web at sonsoflibertyteam.com. At sonsoflibertyteam.com.
Gold is like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Hi there. My name is Frank Bates. What I'm about to tell you in the next 60 seconds could get me in a lot of trouble. I just created a free video presentation at 123coverup.com that exposes the electricity monopolies and government agencies for what they really are: incompetent, lying crooks that are counting on your ignorance and fear to keep your power bills criminally high. Some have called this a conspiracy. Others have called it a cover-up, and you will be shocked to find out how deep the conspiracy goes. My video at 123coverup.com exposes the truth and shows you the secret of how I beat them and how you can beat them too. Watch the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in the last 3 months. Go to 123coverup.com and discover one weird trick to slash your power bill and protect your home. Go watch my video now at 123coverup.com before they force me to shut it down. Again, that's 123coverup.com.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben. We are here 5 days a week, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. If you miss a program, you want to review a program, you can head over to brightsideben.com. We got hundreds of hours of, at least probably a couple hundred hours of archived information. You can send your, if you're doing the longevity business, you can send your clients over to the archive page. It's a great selling tool. And if you just want to review information that you missed, or if you missed a program, head over to brightsideben.com and check out our archive page. You can also order products off the Brightside Ben website. On the upper left-hand corner of the page, we have a shopping cart. We also have a Join the Team link that you can click on if you want to start a longevity business, make some money selling longevity products, enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business, and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Of course, you can always call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. So we'll be talking to Becky Hulam about her book, Feeling Hot, in our next segment. And that means we take your phone calls in this segment. Got a couple lines open for you. Sarah in Texas, what is going on? Welcome to the Brightside.
Hi, I wanted to ask you about the...
Speak up, Sarah. Having a hard time hearing you there, ma'am.
Sorry about that. Is that better?
Loud and clear. Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about. I've been shedding some hair the last month. What I've noticed is that I have kind of an itchy skin rash on the T-zones of my face, and I think I also have the same rash on my scalp. But I can't see anything.
Well, I commend you for noticing that. Those are all very good pieces of information. How old are you, Sarah?
31.
Okay. And is your hair coming out in clumps or pieces, or is it real noticeable? When you brush your hair, does a lot of hair come out on the brush kind of thing?
For me, it is. I don't have real thick hair. I have thin, fine hair, so it's quite a bit for me.
How about on the pillow at night or in the bed or anything like that? You have hair on the pillow?
Not so much. It sheds off during the day. I'll see it on my shoulders, and when I get out of the shower, I can run my fingers through my hair, and I get quite a bit coming out.
Okay. Are you built lean and mean?
Can you repeat that?
Are you built lean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay. Here's the deal. Chances are you've got a couple things going on. The rash means that you got some kind of immune activation. Here's the thing about hair loss, and I get lots of questions about hair loss. Hair loss does not occur in a vacuum. Nobody just has hair loss unless it's something that's associated with aging. But even then, there's always other things going on. So you got some rashes going on. You got the oily skin thing going on. All of these are telling me there's some kind of burden on the body. And this is really the bottom line to everything we talk about on the program. If we're suffering from any kind of health issue, if we are not experiencing the good health that is our birthright, that by definition almost means there is some kind of burden on the body. The body is under some kind of stress, and instead of applying all of its energy and directing all of its resources to growth and repair and healing, it is now having to deal with some kind of burden or some kind of stress that's being put into the system. Now, stresses in the system, aside from emotional and mental stresses, which are clearly problems, from a physiologic perspective, stresses always have to be linked to something that's getting into the body through the digestive system. The fact that you have the oily skin, that tells me, in the T-zone, that tells me that your adrenal glands are working overtime. Oily skin always means some kind of adrenal issue, and the adrenal glands are your stress-handling glands. So again, that is an indicator that there's some kind of burden or some kind of stress in the system. You want to try to link those rashes up to some kind of food that you're eating, and that always means look for digestive symptoms. Chances are pretty darn good that your body is not building tissue as well as it should, and instead of you're always losing hair, but when we're younger, as we're losing hair, we're also growing hair. If you're losing hair faster than you're growing it at the age of 31, the chances are pretty good that you got some kind of burden on the system. Now, the fact that you're built lean and mean is an indicator that your adrenal glands are probably active, that you're probably what we call an adrenal type of have an adrenal physiology. So the first thing you want to do from a supplemental fashion after you correct the stresses, after you look for any kind of digestive stresses and eliminate foods that are causing a problem, the first thing I would do is I'd start to work on the adrenal glands. Interestingly, the adrenal glands also produce hair-growing hormones. In addition to helping you make stress hormones, they also produce hair-growing hormones. So if they're off making stress hormones, they're going to make less hair-growing hormones. So focusing on the adrenal glands is going to be one of the first things you want to do. Simply eliminating problem foods is going to take a load off of the adrenal glands, but then you want to start using some good adrenal supplements. Vitamin C is super important for the adrenal glands. I'd be using high amounts of vitamin C. Minerals are very important for the adrenal glands. You're probably noticing you're craving salt if you're like most people who are hyperadrenal. I'd be using Celtic sea salt in water, a spoon of Celtic sea salt in a glass of water, and sip on it. That'll take care of your salt cravings, also help you with your adrenals. Don't forget about the Mighty 90, which is just all-around nutrition. The Mighty 90 is important for everybody. You'll get that in the Healthy Start Pack. I'd be sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine all day long if I were you. Zinc is probably the most important mineral for the adrenal glands. Everybody needs 50 milligrams of zinc, but especially if you're dealing with breakouts or you're dealing with oily skin issues or you're dealing with any kind of adrenal issues, 50 milligrams of zinc percolinate a day is a must-have. And then I would also be using about 2 to 4 milligrams of copper, which helps balance out the zinc. I'm not going to give you absolutely everything you need, but these are a bunch of places where you can start. Deep breathing techniques is one of the most important things you can do for the adrenal glands. Lack of oxygen will turn those adrenal glands on, and over the course of time can lead to adrenal fatigue issues. And then also nutrients that will help stabilize the digestive tract. Probiotics are very important. They're not very important. They're incredibly important. So I'd be using, for the Nightly Essence probiotics, 80 billion units or so a day, 80 billion units of bacteria a day. And then in addition to the Nightly Essence, you probably want to be on the digestive enzymes, the Ultimate Enzymes from Longevity. I'd be doing 2 or 3 of those after meals, and swig a little apple cider vinegar after your meals as well. If you notice that you have any kind of problems with fat absorption, that can also mess up the adrenal glands and cause problems with building. Do you have your gallbladder? I assume you do have your gallbladder, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Any issues with fatty foods that you notice?
In some older blood work, I did have some low triglycerides, so I have bumped up my fatty acids and such.
Make sure you're taking all your fatty nutrients then, and make sure you're taking them with meals. That means vitamin A, vitamin E. Try to get your vitamin D from the sun. You might also want to throw in 1,000 micrograms of vitamin K2 as well, and try taking those after your meals. But get on the Healthy Start Pack for sure. That'll be a good way to make sure that you're getting all of your nutrients in a well-rounded fashion, and sip on the BTT. Regard your hair loss not as a problem, as problematic as it is, obviously, but you want to regard it more as a symptom of a body that's in distress. You're not rebuilding, you're not growing as well as you should, and that's very troubling, by the way, Sarah, at the age of 31. It's good news because at the age of 31 you can turn this around pretty quickly. It's bad news because at the age of 31 this should not be happening, so this is a sign that there's something percolating in there. How are your periods, are your periods okay? Heavy or
I just had a baby, so I haven't really started.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that. That's a very important piece of information. After you have a baby, your estrogen drops pretty dramatically. And when your estrogen drops, your hair can come out, and that can be a problem. So focus on the fat absorption. For all estrogen issues, you want to focus on fat absorption, fat absorption, fat absorption, and that means also working on the digestive system. Sarah, got to let you go. That was... Yeah, I'm sorry if I left you on hold there. Shirley, Rod, Bill, apologize. We're gonna have to take your calls tomorrow because we got Becky Hewlin coming in our second half. If you guys want to send me an email, send it to brightsideletters@gmail.com. Brightsideletters@gmail.com. I'll try to answer you guys personally via email. We're coming back with Becky Hewlin right after this. Don't go away.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
An e-cig revolution is sweeping across the country. But is yours American-made? Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig is. Manufactured in Arkansas with 100% USA-sourced ingredients. And when you buy American, you support local jobs. Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig is top quality at an affordable price. The very principle that once drove the American economy. Get great taste with no ash, tar, or smoke. You'll be wondering why you didn't make the change to Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig a long time ago. LeSig.com has everything you need, for beginners to the advanced vaping enthusiast, with a wide variety of hardware, and also imported e-liquid flavors as well. Plus, LeSig smokes the competition with fast, free, same-day shipping, real people customer service, and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Support our country and become a Vaporeate at LeSig.com or call 870-525-1440, 870-525-1440. LeSig e-cigarettes for today's modern smoker.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Every day, more and more people are feeling better than they've felt in years by going gluten-free. Now it's your chance to learn how it can change your life. The 3rd annual Gluten-Free Living Now Expo comes to the Fountains in Carmel, Indiana, Saturday, October 5th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Discover the world of gluten-free living with 100 vendors showcasing and selling the latest gluten-free products. Get vital information with lectures on celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, and the gluten-free diet. And with the gluten-free cooking and baking demos, you'll learn gluten-free can still be delicious. There's a kids' corner sponsored by Char, and there's even a gluten-free beer and alcohol garden. The Gluten-Free Living Now Expo. It's everything you need to know about being gluten-free. Saturday, October 5th at the Fountains in Carmel, Indiana. Admission is free for kids 12 and under, and just $10 for adults. For more, visit glutenfreelivingnow.org and follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Sponsored by Kroger, Nature's Farm, Glutino, Udi's, Living Without Magazine, and Longevity.
Are you tired of searching for great talk radio?
Something more important.
Search no more. We are the GCN Radio Network.
All right, welcome back to The Bright Side. Thank you for joining us. I am pleased to welcome our next guest, Becky Hewlem, to The Bright Side. Becky is the author of a book called Feelin' Hot, which is subtitled A Humorous, Informative, and Truthful Look at Menopause. I'm not sure exactly what could possibly be humorous about menopause. But maybe Becky can tell us about her book, Feelin' Hot, and why it's so darn humorous. Becky is the menopause expert, and she actually has a license as a certified menopause clinician. We'll talk a little bit about that. Welcome to The Bright Side, Becky.
Oh, thank you so much, Ben. It's great to be here.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And you told me, I talked to you earlier today, you said that you have gone through menopause, you said 15 years ago, right?
Yes, that's
and
true.
It was
I survived.
It was not such a great experience for you. So tell us a little bit about your menopause and what got you into how did you come to understand that you don't necessarily have to have a miserable menopausal experience? Tell us about your experience and tell us how you finally came to the conclusion that it didn't have to be miserable.
Well, I was actually working as a nurse midwife at the time, delivering babies, and all of a sudden I was very cranky, irritable. I was having difficulty getting along with my colleagues, just a lot of mood swings and things like that was going on. And what I finally realized was I was actually in perimenopause. And once I figured out what was going on and what I could do to help myself, I had the amazing thought that, well, if I'm having such a difficult time realizing, number one, the phase that I'm in and what's going on, then how can I expect my patients to understand this? So I became very passionate about educating women about what was going on with perimenopause, menopause, and how they could help themselves.
How old were you when you started your perimenopause experience?
I was about 44.
Okay,
which
so
is a kind of a standard age to begin some of the symptoms. Yes.
It's not early.
Well, a lot of women will start to experience perimenopause symptoms, and peri just means around the menopause. And they may start to experience these kinds of symptoms in their early 40s. The average age of perimenopause is about 48. Average age of menopause is about 52. So, you can have some beginning signs of it, and I think that's why a lot of us don't realize what's going on.
Now, you call menopause the poetry of beginnings and endings, which I thought was kind of intriguing. Beginnings and endings, that makes sense, right? It's a beginning, it's an ending. It's like a chapter closing in a book and another chapter opening. But what do you mean by poetry?
Well, poetry is special to anybody reading a poem is going to get something different out of it. But there's a process to the transition of menopause. It's one of the most important transitions in life. And if we can try to keep our humor about it and try to keep the importance of it about what's going on, but not get so serious about it, it can be a beautiful poetry of life, because it is an important transition that we're all going to have to experience.
Yeah, I noticed you talk about humor a lot. You mentioned it on the cover of your book, and your book is kind of lighthearted. You think tell me about that whole aspect of humor, and talk about the relationship of humor, not just to menopause, but to health issues in general. You're a nurse, and you probably dealt with a lot of sick folks, obviously. Tell us about the relationship between humor and not just menopause, but health challenges in general.
Well, I think humor is a very important part of life. If we can laugh at ourselves, if we can laugh at the silliness of what we get into in our thoughts and about what's going on, then it really releases a lot of endorphins in the body, and it helps us heal. Norman Cousins was one of the first ones that, brought to light that, he actually healed himself through humor and laughter.
Three Stooges movies and Marx Brothers movies, right? Tell a story about Norman Cousins. Right. Tell the listeners the story about that. Do you know the story?
Well, I do know the story. I don't know all the details of the story, but I do realize for myself that, humor has been very important in many of the life challenges that I've had. And so I wanted to bring some humor to menopause as well, because women get very, they just get very bogged down by all the symptoms and all the decisions about, well, do I take hormones? Do I not take hormones? I don't want to, I want to get rid of these symptoms, but I don't want to impact my future health. So, bringing humor into it sometimes lightens it up and helps us realize that even though it's the beginning of another major transition, it's not the end of life, because we're going to have another 30 years to live. So we need to keep that light side going.
All right, I want to talk, you touched on hormones, and I definitely want to talk about that. I also want to talk about nutrition and supplements. But before we get into that, what exactly is a certified menopause clinician? I've never heard of that.
Well, the North American Menopause Society, which is a very large society that specializes in menopause, put together an exam, a clinical exam, that healthcare practitioners could take, and if they passed this exam, then they were given this title of a certified menopause clinician. So we have the certification and the backing that we have, the knowledge to help people in the specialty of menopause.
So any healthcare, I'm a pharmacist. Could I do it?
You could. You could go to
any healthcare professional?
I'm sorry? Any healthcare professional, yes.
Massage therapist, acupuncturist, Reiki therapist, anything?
Well, no, not really a massage therapist, but anyone who has an understanding of health and works with patients around health. Now, as a pharmacist, you have a lot of knowledge that a massage therapist or a Reiki therapist wouldn't have.
Okay.
So yeah, you do have to have a license, a healthcare license, to take the exam.
Okay. Now you said the North American, what was it called?
Menopause Society.
North American Menopause Society. I will definitely be looking into that. And I could be a certified menopause.
Their website is the North American Menopause. Actually, their website is menopause.org.
Menopause.org.
So you could access their whole website by going to menopause.org.
Okay. Now you're an RN, right?
Yes, I'm an RN. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm a nurse midwife. So I've got all those little, letters behind my name.
And you were trained in mainstream medicine, right?
I was trained in mainstream medicine, although I specialized in women's health. So I started out as a labor and delivery nurse because babies were my thing. I love babies. And then I went on and became an OBGYN nurse practitioner. So I became an independent clinician. So I saw my own patients. I diagnosed. I did exams. I wrote prescriptions.
You can write scripts,
too. And then I decided
too.
to take it another step further and become a midwife, and I delivered babies.
And so you're familiar with all the drugs, all the prescription drugs that are used for menopausal symptoms, to deal with menopausal symptoms. Prozac comes to mind, as well as hormone therapy, of course. That's kind of standard medical fare for dealing with menopausal issues, correct? Drugs.
That's correct, yes.
And what is
not the only way. That's
standard, though.
To deal with it.
It's the standard medical model is to just give prescription drugs. What is the mainstream medical view of menopause?
Well, they don't look at it as a disease, but for many, many years they looked at it as something that needed to be medicated. So, for example, for many, many years, hormone replacement therapy was the gold standard in the medical model.
Becky, hang tight. Becky, hang on. We got to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about hormone replacement therapy and then also some nutritional supplements for menopause. Okay, hang tight for us. All right, we're talking to Becky Hewlem about her book Feeling Hot. Becky is a certified menopause clinician. You are listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the three that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Shank. Everybody's heard the statement that what you don't know can't hurt you. But truth is, what you don't know is the only thing that can hurt you. For example, you might not know how our country's wars can hurt you. Japanese radiation and the Gulf oil spill are destroying your seafood. People don't understand how America's 50-year worst drought is hurting them. Our natural disaster experience has proven relief organizations can't take care of the victims. And there's the huge question of how the government will feed all the people that it's promised to feed with no food. What if we made the whole country into one big neighborhood where we take care of each other by taking care of ourselves? Here's the plan. For every new ePack 60-day food supply that you order, eFoods Direct will send a 7-day food supply to each of 2 families in your name, free of charge. Go to eFoodsDirect.com or call 800-876-0871. 800-876-0871. eFoodsDirect.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Are you ready for a natural disaster, a downturn in the economy, or inflation? Prepare yourself. Come to the Self-Reliance Expo at the National Western Complex this Friday and Saturday, October 4th and 5th. Learn about food and water storage, emergency power, shelters, and precious metals. Hands-on training like marksmanship, suturing classes, emergency shelters, backyard farming, and so much more. Activities for the whole family. Come to the Self-Reliance Expo at the National Western Complex this Friday and Saturday, October 4th and 5th. Tickets and schedules available at selfrelianceexpo.com.
What if you had a witness everywhere you drive? Now you can with videodashcam.com. From truckers to motorcyclists, the handy video dashcam can be used for insurance claims, accidents, police encounters, road rage, or natural disasters. Has instant screen playback and optional night vision. Get the best quality, affordable HD dash cameras available at videodashcam.com. That's videodashcam.com. Or call 855-855-2022. Always have a witness with Video Dashcam.
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN. Great talk radio starts here.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Rebecca Hewlem about her book, Feeling Hot. Rebecca is a certified menopause clinician, nurse practitioner, and an RN as well. Becky, before we went to break, you were talking about the medical viewpoint on menopause and hormone replacement therapy. Can you just continue that a little bit? And then I want to talk about hormones, and then we'll talk a little bit about nutrition.
Okay. So the medical model is that you need to replace the hormones that your body is no longer producing, like the estrogen and progesterone that was produced by the ovaries. So, the medical model is, let's give women the hormones, give it back to them, and then they won't have all these symptoms. The Women's Health Initiative study that came out in 2002 really blew that whole concept out of the water and said, hey, wait a minute, not every woman should be on hormones. It may put them at risk for heart attacks and strokes, and, we need to take a look at this. So, fortunately, that was a big change that came, and the medical model has changed in somewhat, and now they say, okay, lowest dose possible of the hormones that reduce the symptoms for the shortest period of time, 5 years or less, will not put women at that risk for the heart attacks and strokes. So it's changed and evolved over time, which is a good thing. And now women are also wanting to maybe look at what's called bioidentical hormones as opposed to major pharmacy made hormones. So that's another choice, along with supplements and acupuncture, aromatherapy, things like that. So
well, you're
many choices.
You're a certified menopause clinician. So what's your personal take on hormone replacement therapy? Would you suggest it? Would you recommend it? Would you do it?
Yes, I would do it, but I don't have any risk factors for it. I don't think every woman needs to be on hormones. I think there are many women and many choices. And, I'm a middle-of-the-road type person. Evaluate the medical history of each woman. Evaluate what symptoms she's having. Would hormone therapy relieve these symptoms better than perhaps something else, like diet, exercise, which is first and foremost for every woman? Is that going to be enough? Or is she really having symptoms that are impacting her day-to-day quality of life, where hormones are going to be the only thing that's going to put her back on, in balance?
Do you distinguish between progesterone and pregnenolone and DHEA and estrogen?
Well, yeah, there is a distinguishment between all of that. However, generally estradiol, which is one of the 3 estrogens that our body used to produce, will reduce the symptoms of hot flashes, night sweats, that sort of thing. Progesterone is a very important hormone because that's what helps us sleep well at night. It helps calm our moods. It used to regulate our periods. So both hormones have, important parts to play in the body. The DHEA is the precursor of all the hormones. If you don't have enough DHEA, then the body doesn't process the hormones in the body. So it all comes into play. It all plays a role.
What about foods? Are there menopause-friendly foods and menopause-not-so-friendly foods?
Well, it's important for women to realize that once you go through menopause, you're at risk for other things, such as heart disease. So, menopause-friendly foods would be lots of fruits and vegetables, plant-based proteins as opposed to animal proteins.
Why do you say that? Why do you say plant-based proteins as opposed to animal proteins, for curiosity?
Well, plant-based proteins don't generally raise your cholesterol levels. Many times it will help lower the cholesterol levels, and a lot of women, once they reach 50 or beyond, will start to have some problems with cholesterol issues, which will, lead to putting them at risk for heart disease. And plant-based proteins, particularly that come from soy, many times will help relieve hot flashes.
So you're thinking soy is a good idea? Soy protein is a good idea for menopausal women?
I think it is. However, a lot of women who haven't used soy-based foods like soy milk or tofu or edamame or any of that prior to menopause, if they take ingest too much soy initially, they can get very bloated and gassy, so they have to be careful with that. So a lot of women will turn to taking supplements that have soy isoflavones in them, like estrogen that has the Novosoy isoflavones in them, and they won't have the bloating and gas, but they'll get the benefit from the hot flashes.
Have you noticed good results with the estrogen, or have you tried Remifemin, that one, the black cohosh one?
Black cohosh is excellent also, and Remifemin is an excellent product. Has quality, black cohosh in it. The estrogen is an excellent product as well because it's also got quality soy isoflavones in it. So I try to educate women on what are the products that I know have, quality assurance in them and have worked, and what products, that maybe won't because they don't have enough of the black cohosh or the soy isoflavones in them.
Okay, so now aside from herbs, and we know about the anti-estrogenic or estrogen-supporting herbs and the isoflavones. Aside from those, straight nutritional supplements, what are you recommending or what are you suggesting? Just nutrients now. Vitamins, minerals, and such.
I think every woman will benefit from a vitamin B complex.
Okay, why do you say that? Why do you say that about the B complex?
Well, because the vitamin B6 and the vitamin B12, B6 helps with moods and anxiety, and it's a stress-related vitamin. The vitamin B12 helps with energy. Folic acid is in a vitamin B complex, which is, a vitamin that we all need. So I usually recommend for women that are complaining of fatigue and moodiness and anxiety and stress-related things that they take a vitamin B complex.
Do you know about the estrogen balancing properties of the fatty vitamins, especially E and A? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't actually.
They both have estrogen balancing properties, and I find that women, as they're reaching menopause, have issues with fats, fat absorption, fat metabolism. Have you noticed that?
Oh, absolutely. Plus, women, in a different, sort of fat, they complain of gaining too much fat around their middle. So, they really need to try to avoid, the white sugar products, the flour, the white rice, all that sort of thing, because all the complex, the simple sugars will, cause them to gain a lot of weight during menopause.
Do you know anything about
absorption, digestion, all that is affected after we go through menopause.
Do you know anything about the relaxing nutrients like GABA and 5-HTP, maybe magnesium for kind of quieting down for slowing down hot flashes or calming down the nerves? Have you heard of any of that?
I have. I've heard of all of them. And I've tried many of them myself. The 5-HTP is excellent for if you're having sleep issues. I found that helped along with, relaxing and calming. Magnesium is excellent, too, because it also is great for the muscles. So, a lot of times if we have a lot of muscle tension or if we have restless leg syndrome, taking magnesium helps.
Okay, so we got about a minute, Becky. What's the one thing, or maybe two if you can, that you want women to know who are perimenopausal, approaching menopause, or even in menopause?
Well, that there are many women and many choices, and one size does not fit all, and education is extremely important. Asking questions, reading, getting all the information you can about menopause, and realizing that you're an individual, and what works best for your best friend may not necessarily be the best thing for you. Perimenopause and menopause is a transition that we all will have to go through, but there is lots of wonderful things on the other side of it. It's not over. Life's not over.
Okay.
And ask questions,
All right, now your book is the menopause. Your book is called Feeling Hot, and I want to get your website out and tell people how they can get the book. But before we get into that, give me one or two books that you recommend, or one or two websites that you recommend that perimenopausal women go to get information.
Well, the North American Menopause Society website, which is www.menopause.org, is an excellent website to go to for not only for information, clinical trial type information, but also for practitioners. If you're looking for a certified menopause clinician in your area, that's an excellent website.
Menopause.org.
My website is themenopauseexpert.com.
Okay, themenopauseexpert.com, and I take it people can buy the book off the website, also off of Amazon, correct?
On Amazon.
Okay, good deal. I think we're losing Becky there. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Good to talk to you. Rebecca Hulum. Her book is called Feeling Hot, and she's at themenopauseexpert.com. All right, that's all the time we have for today. On the bright side, tomorrow we'll continue talking about anti-aging growth and repair nutrition featuring protein, the ultimate macronutrient. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
How can I stop these annoying collection calls?
Imagine being free from your debt without settling and with no payment plan, no negotiating or filing bankruptcy, and no attorneys. What if you could eliminate the risk from all your unsecured debt in about 90 days and keep all your money? You can. It's called Zero Debt Guarantee, and it works. There's no other program of its kind on the planet, and we guarantee the results in writing. Call now, 800-477-9256. Let our team of experts provide you with the resources to fight back, stop collection calls, and prevent and stop wage garnishments and bank levies. If you're facing foreclosure, we can help. Don't go it alone. Get free information now by calling 800-477-9256. Talk to an expert who has also completed our program. Call 800-477-9256 for free info, or go to ZeroDebtGuarantee.com. That's 800-477-9256, or go to ZeroDebtGuarantee.com.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you, has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day, unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.